What's going on, everybody? Sorry it has taken me so long to get this second video up. Life has been crazy. We moved into a new house, so I'm actually doing this video for my new kitchen, which is exciting. You can probably hear it echoing because we don't have a ton of furniture in here yet. We just moved this past week. And so a lot of exciting things happening. Also doing my real estate stuff, but all that being said, I'm here now. We're gonna do this video. We're gonna knock out a nutrition video. I thought this was gonna be my first video for this program, but I did that gym video. So if you got my 5 top gym pieces of gym equipment, if you haven't seen that one, make sure you go check that one out. It's really good, especially if you're just starting this program and you're like, what equipment should I buy? Great video to go watch. This is the first nutrition video, however, so I'm gonna cover some big overarching topics and then I'll make some other videos and breaking all these things down. The things I wanna cover in the nutrition video today are the 3 questions I get the most. When should I be eating? What should I be eating? And how much should I be eating on this program? So I'm gonna cover all those things in a little bit of detail, and then like I said, we'll dive deeper later on some of this stuff. The first thing I get all the time is, Derek, when should I be eating? I will say that this program does have an intermittent fasting element, and sometimes not even just intermittent, but just plain fasting element to it. I think intermittent fasting is great for your overall health. Also, it helps with not necessarily portion control, but calorie control possibly. There's lots of different things, components to fasting that I think are really helpful. So what I've done in this program is I've actually included a beginner schedule. So if you're just starting out on this program and you're new to fasting, it's a program that kind of works you into it day by day, and after I think a week and a half, you're into the schedule. But it kind of backs you into it. It just doesn't say, hey, Derek, or whoever, hey you, don't eat till lunch or don't eat till 2 o'clock. That's a hard thing to do, so it segmentally backs you into it, right? Maybe it says don't eat till 10, then the next day it says don't eat till 10:30, and then don't eat till 11, and so it just kind of pushes that those hunger signals that you get further and further away. That's also in the program. The program's free, it's down below obviously, but that link for that document is also in the program. So make sure you download that and you grab that intermittent fasting. And honestly, if that's all you do is you intermittent fast and you don't do any of the nutrition stuff right away, I love that. I think maybe for the first couple weeks, just work on getting the intermittent fasting thing down. Just like I think a lot of the stuff, when you start getting into a new routine, just work on one element of it until you really get that one element down and then start adding some more stuff to it. Now, the other stuff I'm gonna add to it, like the what should I be eating and how much should I be eating, will be really relatively simple. I tried to keep it as simple as possible, but all that being said, the intermittent fasting program is a big portion of this. So make sure you're doing that. If you have issues as far as like when should you be eating, right? So I don't really give advice, I just say what I do, and then we can kind of figure out what works best for you, or if you want to make some changes. I'm always just a text message. This isn't text messaging. This is text messaging, or a phone call away, or an email away, or however you want to get in touch with me. I skip breakfast because that's the easiest one for me to skip because of my family. We like to have dinners together, but maybe it's easier for you to skip dinners, right? And you want to eat breakfast and lunches and then skip dinners. That's going to be a little bit different of a fasting window schedule than what my program has laid out. So if you need something that's a little bit different, make sure to get a hold of me, and I'd like to kind of walk you through that as well. They're both great. I think whether you're skipping a dinner or whether you're skipping breakfast, I think those are the 2 best options as far as intermittent fasting. When it comes to 24-hour fasting, 48-hour fasting, obviously you're just not eating for a couple days, and that's a thing as well. Okay, so back yourself into that. If you want more information on fasting, there's lots of information out there. Just, you're on YouTube, you can go and type in health benefits of intermittent fasting or health benefits of fasting. You'll find tons of great information on the YouTubes about that. Now let's get into what should I be eating. This is an animal-based program. I will say that. I get that it's gonna be hard for me to say, don't eat vegetables. Once again, this is one of those things where I go, work your way into this, right? I did the same thing where I was like, all right, I'm gonna stop eating vegetables. Now I haven't eaten vegetables in probably about 6 months now. An occasional vegetable here and there, when in-laws come over for dinner and they bring a big salad or something, of course I'm gonna eat that, that's fine. But for the most part, I don't eat vegetables. Took me a little bit, 43 years of people telling you that vegetables are healthy and good for you and you need those micronutrients and all that stuff. That's hard to give up. It's hard to go, I'm gonna stop eating vegetables. There's lots of it. I'm also not gonna go dive deep into the carnivore lifestyle and how I eat, but There's a lot of information out there. Once again, hit up the YouTubes. Are vegetables bad for you? Maybe something like that would be a good thing to throw in the YouTube. I follow Carnivore MD. Dr. Paul Saldino is great. He's got tons of information about vegetables and whether or not you should or should not be eating them. He also has a book out. You can get the book. One thing I did do is I took a green smoothie for a while when I first started this, just so I was like, I kind of weaned myself off vegetables, but I was able to like wrap my head around going, but I'm gonna take some of this stuff, and that helped. So, I still have this, and I think this is a great kind of segue into a little bit more of a carnivore lifestyle because it's easy, it's a shake, and it's quick, and you're still getting all those micronutrients, but you don't actually have to sit down and eat vegetables. So I think that's a great thing to do. Now, other than that, I'm pretty much meat-based. 70 to 80% of my plate is generally meat. Mostly red meat because of the nutrient density of red meat versus chicken or pork or fish. Fish has got some nutrient density, but red meat definitely has, especially if you're getting grass-fed, grass-finished ground beef or steaks, that's going to be very nutrient dense. And that's what I'm looking for here is the most nutrient dense form of protein that I can get. So red meat is going to be the winner there. And so I eat a lot of red meat. I'm currently cooking a brisket on my Traeger right now, which I'm excited about because it's my first brisket here in the new house. So that'll be fun. I'm sure I'll post pictures to my Instagram. So if you follow me there, you can see pictures of the brisket. Let's keep going about meat. Now, chicken and pork and fish, those aren't bad. I prefer red meat. If I'm gonna sit down and eat a bunch of it, I wanna make sure I'm getting the most nutrient density in my meals. The other part of that is organ meats. So liver, kidneys, heart, brain, lungs, testicles, any sort of, I said testicles, yes. Any sort of like organ that you can get from a cow as well is also gonna be very nutrient dense. Now, I don't eat those things. I don't eat, liver. I'm not like the liver king. While I love the liver king, I can't stomach his stuff. In fact, I take some of his supplements. I do like his brand, Ancestral Supplements. So I take a lot of this stuff. So this is his beef liver. I take this every day. This is my micronutrients, right? This has replaced vegetables in my diet because just 6 pills here equals a friggin' table full of vegetables, micronutrient wise, right? So keeping that in mind, and I can stomach this stuff. I can't just eat liver because I don't like the flavor of it. So I do take desiccated liver pills, bone marrow, all kinds of good stuff. And I do it in this pill form because I can handle it and it's easy. And I just do it and my whole family can do it. My kids can do it. And it just makes it really easy. We always say, did you take your liver today? And we all have our little liver and whatever else we're taking with it. So predominantly that's what I eat, mostly meat. Usually I'll do a pound of ground beef with possibly some fruit, right? So I think fruit's a great thing to eat. You can see kind of behind me, bananas, we eat a lot of bananas. Here's an apple. Here's a mango that I'm waiting for it to get ripe. So any kind of sweet fruit is great. Plantains, we eat these a lot with dinner just because they're a little bit starchier. Squash, anything that's, berries are great. This is gonna be your plant food, is gonna be fruit, right? That's the stuff that the plant wants you to eat. So this stuff is bright and colorful because it goes, hey, it needs to be eaten. For that plant to survive and to spread the seeds, it needs you to eat the fruit, right? That's how that works. It doesn't want you eating the leaves and the stems and the roots and all that stuff. That stuff's not good for you and it's protected. So we don't generally eat that anymore. We just eat the fruit. And then honey. I have honey. What do I get here? Pure, raw honey. I have a couple different kinds up there. That's a raw organic one from New Zealand right there. This is a local one, so we have local honey. We have the other stuff there. This is another raw, unfiltered organic honey. This stuff doesn't hit your glycemic load like you think it does, right? I generally do that if I'm gonna work out early in the morning. I do that before I go to bed, or I do it before my workouts. So I try to keep those higher glycemic things. If I'm eating fruit, I try to do that around my workouts as well. This is kind of like maybe part of the when should I be eating. I like to keep my carbohydrates around my workouts or the night before if I'm waking up early, right? Because I'm not gonna eat breakfast, so I'll eat a higher glycemic something rather. So this isn't a keto program per se. Now, for your first 10 to 40 pounds, maybe that first like 20 of it. If you're gonna try to lose 40 pounds or more, that first 20 of it, it's a good idea to go keto. So don't eat too many carbohydrates. Fruit included, honey included. Get your body burning fat, using fat for fuel, get it fat adapted, and get into that ketosis. You'll see those first 20 pounds come off really quickly by being in ketosis. Then you are gonna start getting bogged down. That was my one thing when I was on keto a lot, was that at some point my performance started to bog down. So I added in fruit, I added in honey, and all of a sudden I was like a rocket ship. So get it going first, with a little bit of keto, then start adding fruit and start adding in honey, and you're gonna feel like you've got endless amounts of energy, right? Obviously you're taking your liver, all those supplements. All right, so we got meat, we got fruit, we got honey. Let's talk about dairy. Now, dairy is an animal product, right? So this is one of those things that's a little bit of a gray area for a lot of people on carnivore. I do eat cheese. I drink kefir, which is a fermented like yogurt drink. It's almost like yogurt. It's like thick milk, but it tastes like yogurt. It's delicious. I love it. It reminds me of my childhood for some reason. I don't remember what I must have been eating when I was a kid, but other than that, it's amazing. So kefir is amazing for you. Yogurts are good for you. Even milk, especially if you can get raw milk and dairy, if it agrees with your guts, right? So regular milk doesn't agree with my guts. I'm not allowed to drink it in my house, but fermented dairy works well for me. Cheeses work well for me. All that stuff is fine. It doesn't give me gas. It doesn't give me bloating. All that stuff's good as long as your body can handle it. I'm all in for dairy. Just, probably in moderation for the most part as well. Don't eat too much cheese just because it can lock you up a little bit. So all that being said, let's talk real quick about how much of this stuff should you be eating, and then we're gonna touch real quick on supplements because I got a whole bunch of supplements down here that you can't see. Also, I forgot to tell you, I got a black eye in training and it's clearing up now, but if you wanna know what that's from jiu-jitsu. I don't know how it happened, but at some point I took an elbow or a knee or something to the eye on accident and I got a black eye. All right, let's talk about how much of this stuff should you be eating. Now, I don't count calories, I don't weigh my food, I don't track my macros, I don't do any of that stuff. All I do is I eat till I'm full. That's it. It's not crazy, but that's kind of how we're supposed to eat, right? Like tens of thousands of years of eating food, your body isn't gonna you're not gonna get fat eating a bunch of meat, right? Meat doesn't make us fat. A bunch of sugar and crappy processed foods and seed oils and all that crap, that's the stuff that makes us fat. So eating meat, eating fruit, surprisingly, I know I think there's videos where there's fruit makes you fat. That's not true. That's a garbage video that's not based in science. Fruit is great for you, nutrient dense, doesn't affect your glycemic load hardly at all. Same thing with honey, it's crazy. Meat, obviously very low glycemic load, not gonna make you fat, really good for you. And once you eat a bunch of it, you're full, and you're full for a long time, and you're not gonna snack. So all these things are great. And that's just one of those things that I think that everybody should be doing is eating till you're full. Don't count your calories, don't track your macros. You can if you want to, go for it. It's just for me, that stuff's never worked. I've always fallen off and said, I can't do it long term. It's good to know kind of maybe how much you're eating and maybe when as far as protein content, I wanna get 200 grams of protein in my diet. So it's good to know what that looks like, I suppose, throughout your day. But other than that, I'm just not a big fan of it. So how much should you be eating? You should be eating till you're full at every meal. So if I eat 2 to 3 meals a day, so I start my first meal at 2 o'clock, I'm gonna eat till I'm full. Now, I'm gonna show you this. This is a little hack. I eat with chopsticks. It takes 20 minutes for your body to feel full. So you have to eat slow. You know what this does? This slows you down, y'all. Go on Amazon and order, I think I got 15 pairs of chopsticks for $10. Go order yourself some chopsticks. It slows you down. This is just a life hack right here. Have your whole family do it. It's a fun conversation thing at dinner. Try to cut a steak. You have to go left-handed because you want to cut. It's so challenging. It slows you down. It makes you feel full. Do this. This is an easy, simple life hack that will probably help you just lose 10 pounds just by doing this, even if you don't change your diet. All that being said, get some chopsticks, slow yourself down, eat till you're full. That's how much you should be eating. All right, let's talk real quick about supplements. Obviously, we've covered organ meats. You should be doing these. I do take a hydration thing every morning. So I wake up, this is the K1000. My whole family, Becky, Joe, and I both take this every morning to hydrate because you're dehydrated in the morning, right? You wanna wake up, you wanna get hydrated. Water isn't gonna do it. You can put salt in your water, you can put lemon in your water. I think those things are great. But this has your potassium, this has your magnesium, this has your sodium, all the good stuff that you need to get rehydrated. I do this especially because I work out in the morning and I know I'm already dehydrated. So first thing in the morning, this is part of my morning routine before I do my movement. We talked about some greens. If you're trying to get off vegetables, this is a good kind of medium thing if you want to do that. Let's talk about protein drinks, right? So this is like a complete carnivore drink. Now, this does have cocoa powder in it, and monk fruit as a sweetener, and sunflower lectin. Those things I'm not like super jazzed on, but this is a good, like, I am gonna switch over. I am gonna try the Liver King's whole beast at some point. I actually have it, but I'm still trying to finish this one. I don't do this often. This is like a meal replacement. If I can't get to a meal, if I'm busy or if I'm at work, this is a good thing to have in your back pocket. I really like this brand. It's delicious. It doesn't taste weird, but it does have organ meats in it as well. Then before I work out, I take beta-alanine. I just get this off bulk supplements. I take creatine because I want big muscles. And I take taurine, which is kind of a branched chain amino acid that helps you lose some fat. I think this is good if you're looking to learn to lose fat, especially if you're in the fight game, you're trying to make weight. Taurine is a good kind of like secret weapon that I like to use to burn extra fat before a meet. So without having to get super dehydrated and stuff. We'll talk about taurine a little bit more in the when you get under 10 pounds to go video. All right, y'all, I hope I answered some questions there. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure to give this a like, make sure you subscribe. And I'm gonna be doing like a bunch more of these videos for nutrition. I'm excited about it. Sorry this one was so long, but there's a lot of good information here. And if that helped anybody, let me know. If you have any more questions, like I said, put them in the comments. And I will talk to you, and I'll see you on the next video. Later, dudes and dudettes.